at the owners' meetings, it was Jed Yorks' time. And it's interesting. So John York speaks. John Lynch speaks first thing in the morning the first day. Kyle Shanahan speaks first thing in the morning the next day. They speak for a long time. They're in these little allotted rooms. It's very official. There's cameras around. You know, they look a little hungover. They're very relatable. They answer plainly. They give different answers. I mean, John and Kyle were definitely on different pages, but they're both very confident, forthright, honest in their way people, like telling you their truth. And you got to respect them for it. Then you got Jed York coming through at the end, hidden in a little area outside by himself by a hedge. And he answers the same questions, but he doesn't answer any question. Every answer is, I asked him, like, hey, in retrospect, do you think Trey Lance was too big of a project for this particular team?
He didn't even answer the question.
Dude, he was like, that's a great question. I was just talking to Josh McDaniels, who went to school with my dad, and he was talking about Brock Purdy, and then it reminded me of what my dad said about Joe Montana and Tom Brady. I was like, wait a second. Wait. I asked you about Trey Lance. Like, he doesn't exude any of the confidence that those two does. But he says his own things. And while John Lynch said, essentially, Brock Purdy's the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's the next franchise quarterback, Kyle said, we just need a guy who's cheap that we can win with. It could be Sam Darnold for all I freaking care. It could be Trey Lance. It could be any one of these three. Jed's like, I really would like to have a great quarterback. It'd be nice. And I hope it's one of the guys here. I'm really hoping to give one of these guys a huge extension because you got to have a great quarterback to win in the Super Bowl. Do you believe that he actually feels that way? Because he's the only one of the three main guys who comes out and says quarterback is that important.
And I believe that he feels that way. But much like when Shanahan said that the heartbeat of the offense is the center position when Mac retired. The heartbeat of our offense is the center position. I believe you might feel that way, but saying it and doing it are two completely different things. So Jed York said, you need, in order to win in this league, it's the most important position. You need someone who is very good, if not extremely great. Those are the words that he used.
Very good, if not extremely great.
Are those
never
guys
heard Kyle say that? Kyle says we just need someone we can win with who's on a rookie deal. Literally, those are his words, which is amazing. But maybe he's not. I mean, he hasn't proven that he's right, but it's not like Jed's won a championship either. He's just watched his uncle do it and took credit for it. Sorry, I'm getting snarky. I take it back, Jed.
You know what I find interesting about this sudden change in Kyle saying that? This is literally your shows 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What did you say? Go draft a quarterback every year until you hit, and then play with them for 4 years, and then dump him again.
Me and him are right here. But here's the thing. I think Jed, actually, I believe him here. I think he does want a great quarterback. He'd profit from a great quarterback. And I think Jed probably, let's look at it this way. Jed greenlit, he gave the okay for the trade up for Lance. I'm guessing it was Kyle. Maybe he was a little upset at what happened in 2020. At the end of the season, I'm guessing he stormed into Jed's office and says, man, I'm tired of this. Or something like that. Kyle's actually cool. He'll keep it cool. Like, man, I'm tired of this. Man, we need to trade up to number 3. Can we do this? And I bet you Jed said, yeah. I bet he was enthusiastic about it. I bet he said, let's go get a franchise-changing player. Like, I bet he was all in.
Yeah.
And that's why, the whole Mac Jones stuff was like, nah, man, like, he's not quite good enough for this pick. It's got to be someone special. I bet you he was into Trey Lance, and for that reason. So the idea of the Niners just giving up on Trey Lance right now, I don't know that Jed York is necessarily super on board with that. I mean, just to say that Brock's the answer, like, I don't know. Like, Brock might be good enough, but Jed wanted someone special. He said it again. So who's that? Is it Sam Darnold now? Is it Brock?
So you think he means it, but Kyle just kind of swindles him at every chance he get, and he's able to sell him like, hey, this is the guy, man. I know I said that last time, but this is the guy.
I think so. I think there's a little bit of that. Like, Jed loves Kyle. Jed does whatever Kyle wants. And if Kyle says, hey, this is the guy, Jed says, okay, great. I think so.
Yeah, that might be the case. I just feel like as the owner of the team, if that is your vision, that should be known in the first interview. The first
Yes.
conversation, every time you're hiring somebody, hey, just
What's
so
your plan?
you know, I believe that the
Yeah.
way you win is through the quarterback position. What is your plan
What's your plan?
to get the quarterback? What does
Your
that look
plan
like?
is to wait a year for Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
I like everything about this interview but that.
Yeah.
That's not a plan. That was never a plan. And that's
Right.
really the issue. I think like the Niners haven't really had a plan at quarterback. They've been reactive. And I think fans have given them the benefit of the doubt. Like, all right, they got a plan with Trey Lance. I'll be patient. And then 2 years go by and it's like, haha, we didn't have a plan. And fans are like, damn, man, you made me feel stupid. I'm mad. Some. Maybe not all, but some.
Yeah, but Jed York should be in that situation as well. He should feel
Maybe
the
he
same
is.
way. But he doesn't act that way at all. He seems fully just agreeable
That's a
to
good
what's
point.
happening.
That's a good point. Because Jed York ultimately just wants people to like him and he wants people to say he's doing a good job. That's what he wants, people to say he's doing a good job. And right now they are, so he's happy. Would he like to win a Super Bowl? Yeah. Would I like to be 7 feet tall? Sure. But you know what I'm saying? Like, would I like to, be a football player? Whatever. Yes, all that stuff. But it's not going to happen. He's resigned to what he is and he's happy for the praise. He's getting it. He's getting primetime games, playoff games. Everyone says at least the organization is competent. No one says the Niners are incompetent anymore. He's happy.
So he's motivated by not being crushed, essentially. Like as long as he can stay out of the limelight in a bad way, that's his motivation. Is that?
And Kyle is his shield. Kyle is his shield. As long as he has Kyle, he has credibility. Okay. So he has to do whatever Kyle says. Essentially.
I feel like he thinks he means what he said. And I think that he said the right things because he's absolutely right. Right? We've had these conversations. He's not wrong in what he's saying. But if this is truly how you felt, you would be maniacal about it. And you would be nonstop flipping tables over until it happened. I don't get that feeling from Jed. If DeBartolo felt that way, everybody would know it. Everybody would feel it. And the pressure would be there to go get that guy. At least from the outside looking in, I don't feel that pressure from Jed York. I feel like do you think
that Jed feels like he can identify him or that he trusts Kyle? I feel like Jed is a guy who always has a football guy he's depending on. For a long time, it was Trent Baalke. And it was tough for him to fire Trent Baalke, but then he pivoted to Kyle. Now Kyle is his lifeline to football. It teaches him everything he knows. If Kyle says, hey, man, dude, Sam Darnold broke through last year. I can work with Sam Darnold. Look what I did with Brock Purdy. I can do even better with Sam Darnold. Jed's going to say, okay, Kyle, great. And believe him. Every time. And that's why I feel like Kyle has a lot of good qualities, but he can play on this with Jed York. He knows he has ultimate job security here, and he can always tell Jed York, hey, the franchise quarterback is coming. He's coming. And he can just never find him. That's what I feel like. And maybe that's not Kyle's fault. Maybe that's the culture that Jed's created. But I don't think Kyle's ever going to find this franchise. I don't even think he's looking for him. I think he's telling Jed, yeah, man, this guy's going to be special. But really, he just wants to cycle through guys on rookie contracts and say they're good enough. I blame myself, really, because I was advocating for this for a long time. But I think the recent history has shown that you need someone great. Like Jed said, you're not going to beat the freaking Chiefs with a great defense and a great run game that you were able to pay for because you went cheap at quarterback. You're not going to win that way. It doesn't work. You need every quarterback.
Moments in getting into the Quality Control Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry. I'm learning. There's a reason they pay me nothing. There's a reason.
That's very true. Yeah, they pay you nothing for these thoughts and opinions.
No.
But Jed York, it's okay. So maybe let's go down the path that you're right here, that he believes it. That's what he wants. Kyle swindling him. At what point do you realize that this is not what's happening? I mean, Kyle is flat out telling everybody that will listen, I don't care about the quarterback position. The team will tell you I don't care about the quarterback position. My actions tell you that I don't care about the quarterback position as much. So, hey, just give me somebody that's healthy, that's upright and respirating, and we'll listen to what I'm telling them to do. That's all I care about. And Jed's like, yeah, we need Joe Montana. And he's like, yeah, no, we don't. We're good over here. You just need me.
Well, Jed's going to have to decide, like, do he and Kyle have philosophical differences at the quarterback position? And if so, can the band stay together, or does the group have to break up?
Right.
I don't understand how you could have two different visions for what you need at the quarterback position at that high level in the organization and work it out. And it seems to me like you got John Lynch on the one hand being like, our guy is Brock Purdy. Then the next day, you got Kyle Shanahan being like, whoa. I don't even know if Brock Purdy's going to play this year. It could be one of three guys. And then you got Jed saying, boy, I hope it's someone really special. They could put together the greatest team of all time, but if they can't decide what they want in a quarterback, what are they doing?
Grant, if I'm interviewing you and you've put together this great presentation and you start talking about how you're going to build through defense and do all these things, and I say, Grant, this is all great. I'm worried about the quarterback position. That's how I believe we win here. That's how the 49ers have won. That's the 49er way, which you mentioned. That was the front slide there, 49er way, and restoring that. How are you going to go get a quarterback? In a minute, Jed. Just let me get through the rest of these slides. I'll get there. All right, we're done here. Like, that's the end of the conversation. If we can't agree on fundamental reason number one that I think is the best way to build a team, and your philosophy is different, there's just no point in doing business. That's why I don't believe that he necessarily believes this. He may think he does, but if he was really, truly committed to it, it would have gone differently than what it has. Or it would start to go differently, and it's not going different at all.
It just seems to me that John and Kyle are committed to defensive line. Like, that's what they believe in.
Yeah.
And Jed should have found that out. I mean, look, John and Kyle are very confident people who've accomplished a lot in their careers, unlike Jed, okay? I'm not putting him in that. Jed just hasn't earned anything. I'm sorry. Those two have. But this whole quarterback thing is how they build a team. It's a little stuck in 1997, I think. I mean, it's all about D-line. Seriously? Are you kidding? We saw the best D-line in the salary cap era last year get shut out in the Super Bowl. You're not winning a Super Bowl that way. The NFL wants scoring in the Super Bowl. There will not be another Patriots-Rams Super Bowl 13-10. I guarantee it. They're not going to let it happen. Bad for business. Get with the program.
Yeah, it is bad for business. And
it's bad for business.
It shows that it's bad for business when you have great defenses that make it to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they're giving up every point under the sun. I mean, it happened to the 49ers defenses with Harbaugh. It's like, oh, yeah. I mean, if Colin Kaepernick doesn't come save you, I mean, your defense just gave up 30. That was the best defense in football. Just gave up 30.
Once you face legitimate Super Bowl contenders, your defense doesn't matter as much.
Yep.
It'll help you get to this. It'll help you get to the playoffs. It might get you a win or two in the playoffs, but after that, it's about your offense.